in the midst of everything, let your brain work. So I am your boy, Alano be the billionaire. So I'm here just to answer a few questions, but the one question that I will dwell with is this question. So I've been telling people about farming, and now the challenge is the drought we are experiencing, and it's predicted that this drought is going for a long period of time. So if you look at this, my neighbor's maize, there's maize at the far end, those ones are almost drying. These are my maize, and I just want to answer this question. Alan, why don't you do irrigation? Good question. I am the right person to answer you that question. Even the large-scale farmers in Kenya, they don't do irrigation in maize. Why? Okay, this is my thing. Let me talk on my situation, then I'll try and expound it so that you guys understand. So this is not my piece of land. This is a leased piece of land. So what I can only do is very, very minimum, what we call the bare minimum. One thing is, I can't drill a hole here for water that will be used to irrigate my crops. Why? This is a leased piece of land. If this was my land, maybe I will be thinking of doing that. In fact, there's like a small stream at the far end that I can use to direct water here. But I can't do that because if I want to direct that water into this field, it means I have to dig a hole or a trench to the far end. And you know, this is not my piece of land. So I just can't come in and start doing landscaping that will affect the owner of the land. So the cost of setting up irrigation here, then this is not my piece of land. It doesn't like make any ROI on it, because the return on investment here is I've leased this piece of land this year and next year. Okay, so if I'm doing irrigation, it must be a long-term irrigation, so that I don't just set up an irrigation system, then after doing the setup, I'm told to move out of I'm told to leave the piece of land to the owner. So it will be quite challenging to do that. Secondly, if you are doing a borehole, if you are digging a borehole, you know the cost of digging a borehole, a good borehole, mostly it ranges 1 million. Let me be honest, 1 million, I would rather go and buy an acre of land, then think of how I can produce more from that piece of land than digging a borehole here. You know, in Western region, as much as people don't know, Western region doesn't experience that big drought. It doesn't experience that drought the whole year. But if it was like in areas like Kajiado, that one could have been the first solution. In fact, even if it was a leasing piece of land, I'll be thinking of setting up an irrigation system before I start doing the farming. But this region, from the far end, that's Mount Elgon. So at least we're in the slopes of Mount Elgon and we experience good rainfall throughout the year. But when the drought is affecting, in fact, this drought is not affecting Kenya only, it's affecting a lot of countries in Africa, a lot of them. So I don't know if we have control, we can control anything, but at the moment we can't. So my prayers are, let's get the rains before the end of this month. If I get some rains before the end of this month, I'm good. And with that, it means I'm not going to set up an irrigation system in this field because it will be too expensive. In fact, I came to notice setting up an irrigation system is not that expensive, but the problem is how to maintain it. That's when the expenses are in, the pipes and everything. So for now, I put that into hold, but if I get my own piece of land that is maybe 5 acres plus, then I can set up an irrigation system, because maybe I'll not be dwelling only on maize farming. I'll be doing other things that requires water throughout the year. So guys, just bear with me on that, setting up an irrigation system here is going to be a big challenge, but it's not something that I'm disputing, because people might think I dispute that. No, I'm not disputing, but it's not, for me, it's not a good investment at the moment, because I don't own these pieces of land. So I am your boy, Alano Be The Billionaire, the big brand as always. So you guys can support me on my YouTube channel. Peace. Bye.